Hey, what's going on, you guys? I am so late. You're not even going to believe what happened. Um, my goodness. I've been hacking away at this HDSDR thing um, for a couple days now. I tried this whole thing. This is going to be a short stream, but I've had people ask me, what are you running? With the 7300, we see the HDSDR there. How are you doing it? So I figured I'd do a run through as to what this thing does. And one of the issues I have with it is it has a lot of latency. So the last step I took today was to try and I did end up successfully doing it, but it didn't help with the latency. And I'll tell you where I'm going with this. I'll try to keep this quick. So there's audio latency between what the transceiver is spitting out and receive and what the HDSDR is spitting out in the computer. Makes sense, right? So that's an issue when you're working pileups and stuff. So I'm going to try and demo it and see if I can get somebody to talk to here stateside. But I need to show you something first. I was sitting here wondering, why isn't the band opening up to Europe? Wait till you see this. So before I go any further, I got to show you this. So let me get this up on the screen. I immediately, what do you do? What do you do when you think your antenna's ripped out of the back of the radio? Remember that previous stream I did? Check this out. Yeah, look at this. There you go. K-index of 5. We got smoked this afternoon with a geomagnetic storm, and it's going to a 6 supposedly tomorrow. So the bands are going to be CAC. Basically, the band's closed. At least it was about an hour ago to Europe. I didn't hear anything coming in. So it's supposed to settle down. I know Callum is live streaming tomorrow evening, and we were planning on doing a joint stream. He's going to test out a 2-element vertical array that he's been working on, and I kind of hope the K-index is supposed to drop into here, like around a 3, but you don't know. I mean, these guys, they cannot predict this. K-index of 5 pretty much closes the bands. We had a big geomagnetic storm. Remember back, it was a week ago, I did that video, that stream, talking about space weather and stuff like that, the limited knowledge I have regarding that. And we were at a 7, and that was a bad one. But a K-index of 5 is incredibly destructive, at least in my QTH. And of course, from what I understand, it does matter what part of the globe the Earth is facing the sun when the coronal hole high speed stream hits. So, yeah, that's a bummer. So I seriously doubt there'll be any DX. So let me get out of there. Okay, so basically, getting back to the HDSDR thing, I was able to load. HDSDR will not recognize ASIO for all. And anybody who's worked in audio, recording, stuff like that, ASIO for all is a very popular driver. It's a very low latency driver. It works great in like laptops, stuff like that. I've used it before. However, HDSDR is different. First of all, it doesn't recognize it, so you have to use what's called ASIO Bridge. And you have to install that in the computer. So I did that, and then I pointed the ASIO Bridge to use the ASIO for all driver. And then I loaded that. I pointed HDSDR to look for that as a sound card. It didn't make a bit of difference. So my basic conclusion is HDSDR, you're going to have to live with the latency regardless of what dongle you use, SDR Play, RTL SDR, any of these other things. However, let me back up just one step back. I'm convinced it has to do, all the reading I've done, it has to do with the USB system and the latency that is present in USB. It's just the nature of the beast. There's no way around it. Every computer, doesn't matter whether you're running a USB 3.0, forget it. don't even waste your time. If you're worried about the latency, don't even waste your time. So in the fall, coming into this fall, maybe by October, I'd like to have it going by the CQ Worldwide contest. I want to try an AirSpy because that actually uses the Ethernet in your house to relay information and communicate between the AirSpy and the computer. Now that's no latency. There's anybody ever make a VoIP call or use it to communicate in real time? Yeah, there's no noticeable latency there. Supposedly there's no latency. It's not a $20 dongle. It's like $200 for that thing, but that's what I'm going to go to because what I'm about to show you, this is what this stuff unlocks, what you can do with it. So let's go. I'll bring you out here. I'm going to go ahead and get the headphones on. Kill this. Activate this. And I don't hear anything. Oh, I have to plug my headphones in, you guys. This is the way this day has been. It's been mad, I'll tell you. Absolutely mad. Okay, we're on 40 right now. As you can see, signals are not that good. They're pretty bad. They should be absolutely roaring in here. So I'm going to sweep the band first. Let's go up to 192.
Especially that when we first started the netter right before, it looked like, oh, it's going to...
Okay, that's a Night Watch net.
Thank you. And yes, we have a roughly propagation on 40 meters tonight.
Okay, that's we do have some DX.
Changing.
That's...
it was a really great pleasure to meet you once again. I wish you a very good afternoon and good luck for DX. And I hope to see you next time. 73 and best regards from France.
Okay, so I'm going to set this up. So your HDSDR, basically what I have is an Icom 7300. I use an IF out tap. Okay, actually, you hear that QRM in there? I'll show you what this thing can do if that stays. So let me just roll this back a little bit. So I can talk and I don't get too confused. So I have an Icom 70. Now, granted, this can be done with any radio. And I got to roll the volume back a little bit on the microphone. I have a friend, W2JON, John, his name is, that's his call. He's down in Pennsylvania. He actually grabbed an IF out of a 857 Delta, a Yaesu, and he's running basically the same thing. You can do it with any radio as long as you can get the IF out of it to the RTL SDR dongle. There's plenty of information online. I have videos on my YouTube channel on what that's all about. Basically it dumps out of the 7300, goes to the computer. I use HRD. Let me show you this. Pull this up. Come on. Okay. Okay. So this is HRD. You will need HRD running because what this software will do is it'll allow you to control the rig. So this is your rig control. You can change bands. You can change all the parameters on the rig if you're monitoring through the rig. It's very handy, especially on like an FT450 from what I've heard, where it's like even the TX power is deep in a menu. You can control your RF power right here. Your filter width. You control the IF shift, which is very handy. Like on a 7300, you have twin PBTs, which is not really convenient in a lot of situations. So, and I hear the cat rattling the cat bowl upstairs on the kitchen floor. I'll tell you, it's a circus, you guys. So, anyways, you can do a lot of stuff with HRD, with rig control connected to your transceiver. So, HDSDR, let me pull this back up. Okay, so HDSDR is actually told to look at HRD. So they communicate with each other. So you can click anywhere in the pan adapter and scroll through the band. Okay? It's very handy. Now what we're actually doing, we're not monitoring what's being puked out of the radio. We're monitoring what is happening in HDSDR, and I'll show you why this is important. Let me do a quick demo here. I'll bring the volume up. Okay, so this is a good example right here. So let's say you're in a contest situation and you want to, you know what contests are like. You get huge amount of splatter from adjacent stations, very close in. There's two things you can do. If you look right here, down here in the lower right-hand corner, this is your receive bandwidth, okay? So you see this right here in the spectrum? This is splatter. So if you want to get rid of it, just click and drag. Kiss it goodbye. That's gone. Let's say you have a birdie, right? Let's say you don't want to adjust the bandwidth, but you have like individual Q, like a very narrow bandwidth type of QRM. You can activate the notch filter right here on the control surface right here. Click notch. And anywhere in here, you can apply as many notch filters as you want with varying bandwidth of the notch, variable width on the notch. And you can control that by the scroll of the wheel on the mouse. So first you will left click on it. That applies the notch. And then you roll the mouse wheel. And there you go. You can adjust the width of the notch. And you can apply as many notches as you want throughout the band, throughout the pass band there. So to get rid of them, you just left click. So let's pull this out. Let's clean everything up. You can also do it with the right side. Let's say you have a signal. Okay. So you're on the lower side now, so you can do the same thing with the lower side. You can grab the left-hand side and drag it this way and say bye-bye. So that's like some of the things you can do with the H. That's why I'm trying to get this running for contest situations, because it's really neat. Okay. So let's see, for giggles.
Yes, I see your personal page. Okay, thanks so much for the share content, Janusz. I wish you a good night.
Okay, there's one more thing I want to show you. This is another powerful function right here, AGC threshold. Like Flex, Elecraft. Elecraft, you can actually adjust the AGC slope, which I found out is very important in a transceiver. So I'll show you what happens. For listening pleasure, I'll tell you, man, this is amazing. So what I'll do is I'll bring the AGC threshold all the way up, and you'll hear the noise floor come right up on it.
That's okay. Bye-bye, Mr. Janusz. 5 and 9, your last report here. Bye-bye.
Okay, now listen to what happens when I roll this back. And you'll notice his audio is still there when he comes in.
Q40,
See, it's not, it doesn't act like an RF gain. The audio stays up, but it becomes very, very quiet. It's phenomenal. So let me see if I can get him on 100 watts. I'm going to just go barefoot. I don't have the amp online. Let's see if I can chat with him for a moment.
November 1, uniform. November uniform. Thanks so much for coming back, Michael. Joseph in Connecticut. Nice to meet you. Name is George.
Okay, we'll get rid of that QRM.
And I'm living in the southern part of France, 350 miles south of Paris. I'll give you a report of the next over. November 1, uniform, November uniform. Florida 4, Bravo, Echo Whiskey, listening.
He's not going to hear me on 100 watts. There's no way. Band is really bad. You hear the rapid QSB and the fading? That's what that is. It's the geomagnetic storm. It's pretty ugly. Also, you can see the spectrum jumping. The band is very noisy.
Oh, yes, okay, Joe. Thanks so much for my signal reports. Okay, for your remote station, it's working better. Your signal report, you're 5729 with a little bit QSB tonight. Our local time here, it's 53 past 11 p.m. A few minutes before midnight here in Joe. I'm running with a 500 watts, a G5RV at 50 feet above the ground with a vintage Kenwood TS-A30S. Max from back to you, Joe. On November 1, uniform, November uniform. A remote station, F4BW, George, listening. Yes, okay, Mr. Joe, N1UNU, F4BW. Thanks so much for the contact. It was a great pleasure to meet you. I wish you good luck for this. I hope to see you next time. Best to you and greetings from France. N1UNU, F4BW, 73. Take care. Bye-bye.
F4BEW, F4BEW, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Yes, okay. The Kilo number 1 Golf.
Hey, you heard me, barefoot.
Nice to meet you once again. It was a great signal tonight. The propagation was a straight side. It's open. It's 5 minutes before midnight. Steve here in France. How are you this afternoon? K1GMM, F4BW, George.
F4BEW. Hey, George, how you doing, man? K1GMM, Steve here, Vermont. And yeah, I just want to jump in quick and say hello, see if I could actually get you on barefoot tonight, no amplifier. And thanks for picking up the call there. I'm live streaming. I've had some people ask me about what I'm running here, so I figured I'd do a quick demo of that. And I wanted to see if I could get you, and there is some QRM close in here, so I've been demoing that as well, how to eliminate that. I'm running the HDSDR along with the Icom 7300. So yeah, good to hear you, man. I'm surprised I got through because the band is we're at the K index is at a 5, and usually that makes an awful mess of things there. But good to hear you, George. Back to you. F5 is it F4 or F5? I'm sorry, dude. BEW K1GMM over.
Okay, Steve, it's F4, number 4. Bravo Echo Whiskey, Steve. Yes, you don't need the amplifier. You were very strong. You were 5 at 9, 59. It was a little bit USB, and unfortunately the static noise is very high this evening. But the propagation is really good with the stat side tonight. Steve, thanks so much to say hello for me. It's always a pleasure to meet you. I wish you a very good afternoon. I hope to see you next time. 728, best regards from France. Kilo number 1, Golf Mike Mike. Steve, L4 BEW George. 728, take care, my friend.
Okay, George. Yeah, thanks for picking up the call, and always great to hear you. Nice signal too. 5.9+5. You're actually in the red there, so making a nice trip in here despite the storming. So 7.3. Hope you had a great weekend there, and we'll catch you again on the band, I'm sure, man. Take care. All the best. Good DX. K1GMM.
Okay, it's my pleasure, Steve. 728, take care. Bye bye.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Sierra Oscar X-ray.
Whiskey America 4, Kilowatt Ocean X-ray. Nice to meet you, Mr. Jim in Tennessee, L4B.
590 SG by Kenwood and then off KW the power, over.
Okay, guys, I've got how I'm keying the rig is actually using the space bar on the computer. Because of the latency, it's a little tricky. So, you know, I figured, why am I going to go out and spend $3,000 on a flexor and a non? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Actually, there's everything right about that, but I don't have the money. So I could spend $200, get an AirSpy, and have a Kraken SDR setup with the control that offered with HDSDR without the latency. So that's what I'm going after. And I hear the receiver, the AirSpies are very, very good. It's funny because this $20 SDR dongle is every bit as good as the Icom 7300 receiver. I'm not even using the Icom receiver right now. This is the RTL SDR dongle. $20 you can buy one of these things for. It's crazy. Basically, the 7300 is doing nothing but just transmitting. It's providing RF to the antenna, taking my audio and sending it to the antenna. That's about it. Of course, in the settings for the audio, but I'm not using the AGC. I'm not using the filtering. I'm not using the noise reduction. Nothing in the 7300. That's why I say, if you have a set and you want to get into this, you don't need to buy a new set. You can have this power at your fingertips for very little money. And to be honest with you, I kind of can't. It's not for everybody. I'll go ahead and say that. It's not for everybody because there's a lot of guys that are very old school. But I'll tell you what, it's addicting. Be careful, because if you do it, you'll probably never go back. And I'm never going back. Let me unmute this sucker and we'll see who else is knocking around.
TOM, SQ5, MPX, IW0, HBY, stock 9, wish you 73. Relax out, QRZ, Italy, Whiskey 0, Hotel, Bravo Yankee, stroke 9.
I don't know if I have him.
Number 3, the call. Italy, Whiskey 0, Hotel, Bravo Yankee, stroke 9. River Papa 5, Delta Radio Echo 59. Thank you, George, 73, and dziękuję, the name is Tom, TOM, ciao. Italy, Whiskey 0, Hotel, Bravo Yankee, stroke 9, towards L.
Okay, I'm trying to get my logbook sorted because I want to try and get him as well. This may play out good for tomorrow night for Callum. I have so many windows open here, it's hard to keep track of everything, man.
Replay HDC +4, IW0 +9. No, va bene, tutto a posto Alessandro, benissimo, ok? Grazie per i saluti, buona serata e ci sentiamo presto, magari con un'altra antenna vedi ancora più forte, quindi stai sereno che stai andando benissimo. 5-9-10, segnale reale, ciao!
Yeah, it's amazing, Rick, isn't it?
Washington 0,
It's
Hotel
crazy.
Bravo Yankee, stroke 9.
Let's see if we can grab him.
November. Uniform again. Mike Yankee November, merci, 57, le vostre segnali, il décisif, yourself?
I really didn't expect any DX to be coming in. It wasn't there an hour ago, and all of a sudden, bang.
Confirme le vostre indicative, Foxtrot 4, Mike Yankee November, is it correct? In Mexico, Uniform November, is it correct?
Boy, he has some screaming audio, doesn't he?
Confirmez les vostres indicatifs. Foxtrot 4, Mexico, Yankee November, is it correct?
That is some cranking contest audio right there. Oof. You could hear that through 1,000 people.
Italy, Whiskey 0, Hotel, Bravo Yankee, stroke 9, CQ40.
Kilo 1, Golf Mike Mike.
Kilo 1, Gulf Mexico, Mexico 59.
QSL, you are 5'9", no problem there. Handle is Steve, State of Vermont. Kilo 1, Golf Mike Mike, over.
K1GMM, nice to meet you again, Steven. The name is Stone, TOM. We have a 2 contact before, okay, in 2018, 17 in 40 and 80 meters. You are 5'9", low and clear here in Sicily Island. Name is Tom, repeat, TOM, over.
Okay, Tom, yes. Thanks for picking up the call there, Tom. I thought it had been a while because I didn't recognize your call. So, yeah, good to hear you. And you are, by the way, you're 5'9" plus 10. 10 over 9. So booming in here. I'll let you go. See if you can pick up some more DX. Thanks for taking the call there. Have a good evening and enjoy your radio time there. Great to hear you. Italy Whiskey 0, and I forgot your call. I'll get it in the log. When you close, I'm trying to multitask. I'm actually doing a live stream right now to YouTube. You can see it on my YouTube channel, K1GMM, and it will be rendered probably sometime tonight. So if you want to see the live stream and see our contact, you'll be able to do that, Tom. Good to hear you, buddy. Catch you later, and you can close with your call there. Over.
K1GMM, this is Italy, Washington 0, Honolulu, Bravo Yankee, stroke 9, HBY stroke 9, happy birthday Yankee. No worries, Steven, nice to hear you, and thank you for nice support into your side, in stateside, and also you make fun trip here in Sicily Island. I wish you 73, and I hope to meet you again. K1GMM, W0, HBY stroke 9, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Catch you later.
Italy, Whiskey 0, Hotel, Bravo Yankee, stroke 9.
November 8, Sugar, Denmark Radio.
Hey, there's Rick.
Zulu Papa Tango. Okay, Japan Radio 1, Japan Radio 1.
Hey, Rick, stand by for a second. Let me see if there's any other DX, and then I'll flip around and
Nice to meet you again. 58,
find a frequency there, Rick. I'll see if there's any other DX in here if you're going to be in here for a minute, and flip around. I'll flip the array around, and we'll chat for a minute so people can hear your audio, the flex. And maybe you can give folks a brief rundown on the flex systems, because it's something we were just talking about on the All-Star system this afternoon. A friend of mine over in the UK was referencing the 6400M, and it's something I've been looking at. So let me take a quick look here, and if I don't see anything, then we'll find a frequency. Hold on. Okay, what do we got?
And the name is Joseph, over.
That's pushing it, but I'll do it.
The name is Joe also?
I'm going to have to retune if I key up here, but I'll try it without retuning. Probably get about a 1.3 to 1.
With the 2 elements Yankee. 73, good DX.
Excuse me.
K1Z, Fly Leader 6, Charlie Tango, Tango.
Oh.
D Lima something. Again. Charlie Lima. Oh. Some QRM at this time. Charlie Lima, try again. Delta Uniform. Charlie Lima something, Delta Uniform.
Okay, we're out to 4 kilohertz wide now. Set it up for Rick.
No. Charlie Lima 3. Is that Juliet Delta Uniform? Charlie Lima 3, Juliet Delta Uniform. You are 5-7. And the name is Joseph, over. Thank you for the 5 and 9. Many thanks for the QSO and good DX to you. Bye-bye. QSDX, Florida 6, Charlie Tango, Tango.
Kilo 1, Golf Mike Mike.
Oh boy. K1 Golf Mike Mike, you are 5-9 and the name is Joseph, over.
Okay there, Joseph, no problem. I think you're about 20 over plus. 9 plus 20, 20 plus over. I caught the meter on the radio out of the corner of my eye, and I had to pick up the pieces laying in my lap. I just wanted to jump in and say hello. I'm doing a live stream and demonstrating a little bit of HDSDR stuff at the same time. And if you wanted to see the stream, it'll be up on my K1GMM YouTube channel, Joseph. And it'll be rendered probably sometime this evening. You can hear what you sound like and see the stream. Thanks for taking the call, Joseph. I'm not going to hold it because we've worked, let's see, 80 and 40, I think, recently. Yeah, 80 meters. Good Lord, we worked the 16th on 80 meters. Very cool. Anyways, put it back to you, and you can tie it off there, Joseph. F6 CTT with a big, big signal, K1GMM, over.
Watch for your comments. The antenna is maybe a little bit better in your direction now. So, and you are 20 over also. No problem. Running 1K with 2 elements Yagi at 80 feet high. So, thank you very much for the QSO. Good evening, good DX to you. The pleasure to have you on the other band. K1 Golf Mike Mike, Fox 6, Charlie Tango Tango.
Okay, Joseph. Yeah, you were 30 over, plus 30. It's amazing. I am, believe it or not, I am barefoot right now, if that's a proper term, which I don't think it is. 100 watts and the 40-meter parasitic array. That's it, dude. That's all I got going. She's just getting tickled at this point, so that's remarkable. Conditions are just amazing between the two of us. 7-3, have a good evening, good DX, man. Thanks again. F6 CTT, K1GMM.
George, with this power, you are picking 10 over this time. No problem. Maybe conditions are okay this night on 40. Bye-bye. QSDX, Florida 6, Charlie Tango Tango.
Florida 6, Charlie Tango Tango, November 8, Sugar, Denmark Radio.
Try again.
Fox 6, Charlie Tango Tango, November 8th, Sugar Denmark Radio. Sugar Denmark Radio.
Some problem with my computer. Alpha Kilo 4, try, go ahead. Alpha Kilo 4, are you still there?
Alpha Kilo 4, Bravo.
Boy, I'm surprised he can't hear you, Rick. I've got my back door closed to you right now,
Joseph, over.
and you're kicking it in. It's just, it might be a little early, isn't it? All right. Rick, see if you can get him. I'm going to go above 175, see if I can find a clear frequency, you guys, and see if I can drag a few of you in here.
Running 1K with the 21 Yankee. 73, good evening, good DX to you, bye-bye.
Good evening, I'm out of Florida. And you're out of where?
Okay, it looks like I'm going to listen at... Nope. Okay. Okay, I'm going to try 181, 71 to 81. Oh, I can hear someone. That's a bust. I'm going to flip the array.
Trying to look for somebody who could bring that antenna down from the tree. I found another one on sale in Connecticut. This guy has a solution in North Carolina, and he had a HD Poland 67 IDS. So I bought that from him.
Okay. Let me try 185. I hate to go to 185 because I don't know if there's any nets that start on here. Oh, Rick got him. Rick got F6. Very cool.
I'm at 185 if you copy me. K1GMM, N8SDR.
Okay, Rick. I'm going to have to retune, so stand by. I'm going to kill this sucker. Sucker tuned up. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oops. Hey, Rick, are you there? Just got tuned up. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Bill, I don't know if you're around as well.
Kilo 1 Golf Mike. November 8th, Sugar Denmark Radio, N8SDR. Good evening to you, Steve. Fine copy, no problem at all. How you doing this evening?
Hey, man, fantastic. How was your weekend there, Rick? And welcome to the K1GMM live streaming madness. Thanks for running up here. Hope I didn't take a chunk out of what you wanted to do down below. Don't know if Bill's in there. Bill said he can't hear me, but I was actually pointed at Europe, so I don't know. Let me drop the key and see if there's anybody else watching the stream that wants to jump in. This is K1GMM. I didn't hear anything. Did you, Rick?
I didn't hear anything here, but if those guys are closer out there on the East Coast, you're probably going to hear them much better than I am right now. Propagation out here towards the Midwest is not that great at the present time. Normally it's rolling in here pretty good by now, but I think the band conditions are probably about an hour or so. It seems like behind what they normally are. I don't know what's going on with that, but you're coming in quite well here. No problem with you, Steve. Very nice signal, very nice audio as usual.
Okay, Rick, very good. Very good. For the sake of the stream, why don't you tell people what you're running? I'd rather have you do that than me spout off anymore. So tell people what you're running, why you like it, what it does for you, why you're never going back. That's what this stream was geared for, the SDR stuff. I can do the other stuff another time, but I want to kind of keep it on track somewhat. Go ahead, Rick. K1GMM.
Okay, very good, Steve. Well, the rig rundown here is a Flex 6400, one of the lower end of the new 6000 series. It's a very, very nice rig, very great receiver. All the options that Steve was going over with earlier in the video he was running with the notch filters and the tunable notch filter, the AGC threshold, all that stuff is built into the software for the Flex series. The nice thing about having it all in one unit, which is running the software, besides having to run like OpenSDR or HPSDR and the other applications like Steve is doing, with exception to the logger, everything is done right from the one application, which is called Smart SDR, and all the features that Steve mentioned earlier, like I said, are built into that application. There's a couple other features that are built in there too, which we can touch on at another time, Steve, like call sign overlays on top of your logbook logger, which is really handy for DX and when you're trying to hunt and pounce. The nice thing about SDRs in general are the pan adapter, the eyeball candy, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel for DX. And it makes things very, very nice. Finding a quiet spot is an easy thing. You're just looking at the pan adapter, you find a gap between signals, and you're pretty much off and running. It makes it easy to find a place to squat when you want to call DX and run a frequency. Also, if you're the hunt and pounce type of guy, it's great with the overlays or just looking through the pan adapter, finding the signals and clicking on them and going. You don't have to spin the dial and listen and think you're going to miss something. You see the signal pop up and you're off and running. Let me take a break there, Steve, and turn it back to you. K1GMM, N8SDR.
Okay, Rick. N8SDR, K1GMM. And yeah, thanks for that, Rick. I do have a couple questions. You covered a lot of it. I'll tell you what I found. And this is the reason, if you want to know the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, this is the main reason. I am not a contester. I'm what I would call a casual contester. I will sit, you know that. I think I mentioned that before to you. But for everybody watching, I like, as far as contesting goes, just to do it very casually. I'll come down, I'll work the radio for, I don't know, work the radio for, 20 minutes to half hour. I'll sweep the band, work every station I can work, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll move on to something else. I'll basically put everything in standby, go upstairs, maybe watch a little TV. The problem I find, that being said, is that the 7300, it's a great little set. Yeah, it's a lot of bang for the buck, but this sucker is like as wide as a barn door. My ALC is a little hot, so I'll see if I can get that under control a little bit. The problem is that if you wind the filters in, I fussed with the RF gain. I've done all the things people suggest to do. It doesn't help. It's just the nature of the transceiver and how it's set up. It's horrific in a situation with heavy QRM, like, you know, CQ Worldwide Contest or what was going on this weekend. Whereas this, you can wind the filter in on HDSDR. I did it yesterday when I was playing with it during the contest, and I wound this thing right in so tight. If I ever did that with a 7300, the audio I was trying to listen to would completely disappear, and I mean totally disappear. So yeah, I don't quite. What I'm trying to ask you is, that doesn't happen with the Flex, does it? You never, as far as winding it, of course you're going to pinch it and it's going to get thin, but the audio doesn't disappear, correct?
Yeah, K1GMM N8SDR. That is correct. Yeah, you can run the filters very, very tight, and you don't actually lose the audio. You just lose everything off to both sides of it. Again, you know, like you mentioned earlier, you can run the multiple notch filters, and there's actually settings within the notch filters. You can actually change the depth of the notch filter and the width of the notch filter as well. So you can cover a big slice at one time with a single notch filter, or, you know, if there's say multiple carriers through a section or multiple birdies through a section of the band, and there's some rare DX that happens to be right there at that spot that you have birdies at, you launch some multiple notch filters, and you're off and running. You still get the audio of the station that you want to run, or that you want to work. Excuse me. This, you know, that's a nice thing with the SDR type software, including what you're doing. You don't have what the filter skirts are very sharp, and you don't get that ringing. And you've probably experienced that before. Well, I'm sure you've experienced it with running the rig by itself without running through, you know, tapping the IF and running it through the filters with the open SDR. What you're running HPSDR, sorry. You don't get that ringing tone in the audio. It's still smooth. It may tighten it up a little bit, may pinch it just slightly, but it's still very copyable, whereas if you try to do that with a conventional radio, you can pretty much count on just kissing that signal goodbye with all the ringing in the background. I'm not a big CW guy, but I have run it on CW in some of the contests, and you can crank the thing down to about 25 hertz, at 20-25 hertz on CW, and you better be right on the guy that you want to work, or you're not going to hear him. K1GMM N8SDR.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing. It's hard until you've seen it in action. And thank you for the offer, by the way, to remote into your system. I have never actually touched one or experienced one firsthand. I wish I knew someone up here that had one, because I'd just go over to his house. You know? Let me drop the key here. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike, and we are live streaming to YouTube and talking about a little SDR stuff. So I don't know if there's anybody else listening stateside here or wherever. I am pointed southwest currently from state of Vermont. If there's anybody within RF earshot, and you want to jump in and say hello, please do. This is K1GMM on the key with N8SDR. Any stations, jump on in if you care to do so right now. Okay, no takers. The band is quirky. I'm actually very shocked that I worked into Europe barefoot that easily. Because I don't know if you caught the beginning of the video there, Rick, but yeah, we have a K index of 5, and that usually makes a horrific mess. So it's okay. KB9 SIH. Can hear you, Rick, in Indiana on SDR whatever that is. I'm looking at the chat room right now. You're in and out on K3FEF. So yeah, that's. I think we may have a direct pipeline between the two of us, anyways. I don't quite know what's going on, but put it back to you for any final thoughts. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick, Rick, because my voice is going and I'm completely trashed. I'm exhausted. Good to hear you. Go ahead and tie things off, and then I'm going to close the stream down. N8NSD. Oh my God. SDR, K1GMM. Brain cramp.
No problem. Seems to be a thing that happens here between us. I'm gonna change when I log into your YouTube chat and we do this going forward. I'll take my name out of there and put my call sign in there for you, make it a little easier. It looks like who was it? Daniel. Was it? If I'm looking at the chat, is it Daniel in Portugal that said he's copying both of us, but he's got some QRM or something? Barely hear you guys in Portugal. Okay, so hey, well that's cool. And Steve, Bill, and KB9SIH. Good evening to you guys. I think you guys are copying live, so that's nice. You got a big advantage with the DX, Steve, as opposed to us guys out here in the Midwest. I gotta play, sitting in the middle of the U.S. basically. Not quite the middle. I'm in Ohio, but I got to play with the East Coast guys, get over the top of them, and then going back the other way, I got to work over the top of the West Coast guys. So you guys make it challenging at times. I did end up working the F6, F6 Charlie Tango Tango, George. That was a little rough one. You got off easy with the 100 watts. I had to run about 800 watts here to do it, but that's still contact. It still counts. And one other thing I'd like to mention with you, Steve, and I don't know how far out the bandwidth will go on the 7300 without the IF tap. I'm not sure if that's limited at 2900 or 3K or what that limit is. I'd be kind of curious to know that. One thing I know Steve was mentioning earlier was the bandwidth. With the true SDR type radios, like the Flex, some of the Anons, well, actually all the Anons, the transmit bandwidth and the receive bandwidth, you can go very wide. I could actually run about 20 kc of audio, which or 20 kilohertz of audio. I don't think we want to actually do that at any time, but the same on receive, which is really nice. If for the guys that are doing like the ESSB stuff, the extended single sideband, that's a big plus for that kind of application. I'll turn it back to you, Steve, and thanks again for giving us a call. Enjoy the video, and always like to watch the YouTube there. K1GMM, N8SDR.
Yeah, N8SDR, K1GMM. Yeah, good to hear you, Rick. Much prefer talking to you personally on the radio. If Jeff is watching 2U1 AFC, I'm an RF to RF kind of guy. That's for UL if you're listening as well. That's like a running joke. That's old school, isn't it? But yeah, sounds good, man. And I just looked over at the audio spectrum. And it looks, by the way, to answer your question, the 7300 will run 3.6 wide on receive and 2.9 on transmit. But the amount of audio that is you can cram through there, like I'm running 2.9, I think I'm wide. Let me look. I am wide. As wide as she'll go on transmit, so that's 2.9. The amount of audio you can cram through these things is remarkable for 2.9. But I was looking at the scope on your transmission, and looked like I brought the bandwidth down to about, it was kind of moving just a tiny bit above 3400, 3.4, But yeah, it was. So I don't know what bandwidth you're running, but that's about where it dropped off. Fell off was maybe 3.4, somewhere in there, close to it. And yeah, so that's it, man. I just put a post in there. Can't tune the antenna. Okay, Daniel. I was going to see if we could try and get Daniel. Michael's in there, 2E0LMO. And Daniel didn't give me his call, but he said he can't tune the antenna. I was going to have him jump in on 7185 right here, see if we can hear him from Portugal. But that's a no-go. So anyways, I'll tie it off with you there, Rick, and we'll drop the key, see if there's anybody else wants to come in, and then I'm going to wrap things up there. N8SDR, we'll catch you later, dude. Thanks for joining the stream and participating. That's what it's all about, man. K1GMM.
Just real quick, Steve, I'm not hearing anything here. Anything there?
Negative, no. But there's some QRM that I just... I'll tell you what, man. It's amazing stuff, isn't it? When I dropped the key, there was some splatter coming in from down below us, and I just reeled it right in, and it's gone. You gotta love it, dude. Over.
Absolutely, and whether you're a light contester like you mentioned earlier, or a heavy contester, SDR stuff's the way to go. It's a whole another world. It takes a little while to get used to it, but once you do, you never look back. The rig I'm running actually doesn't have any of the knobs on it now. They make the newer 6000 series, the M models, that have the built-in displays, and you can run everything without the computer. Even the older Flex that I ran, the 3000, power button, that's it. That's the only button on the rig, a power button. And I've never once reached or looked for a knob 5 minutes after I ran that radio, and it's the same way with this one. You just never look back. It's great. It makes things really easy. Just do everything from the keyboard or the mouse, and you're off and running. By the way, you pretty much nailed the TX bandwidth. I'm at 3450, so if it dropped off at 34, just slightly over 34 like you said, I'm pretty sure you got the whole thing. K1GMM, N8SDR.
Yeah, that's the only bummer. I really enjoy listening to the guys. I'll sit here in the shack, and I'll listen to the guys running the SSB audio like what you're running. And I just love listening to it, But then you get some splatter coming in. You have to kind of choke it down a little bit, and you lose all that, which is kind of depressing to me. But hey, it's radio. There's just some things you have to put up with. I mean, come on. It's called freedom, right? Nobody owns a frequency now, folks. So anyways, there was one more question. Oh, the last question on the 6400, because I've been looking at the 6400M. How much control do you actually get with the built-in Maestro on the 6400M? You really can't do what... Can you do what we're talking about without the computer interface to it? My gut tells me no.
Yeah, you can do pretty much of everything that you're wanting to do, Steve, from the front of that computer, or from the front interface of the M model. There's obviously you got to hit the menu button to get to some of those items, which I like getting away from the menu items, which even if you did do that from the front of the computer, and which is great, you can still run it with the computer as well. So anything that you want to do on the front of that system, like the notch filtering, the width, the TX bandwidth, the receive bandwidth, things like that. Bringing up the separate notch filters, the tunable notch filters, the ABCs, everything that you mentioned, you can do from the front of that radio. That touch screen that's on the front of it, or the knobs off the side of it as well. But I'm not a menu guy. I like having one big screen layout and you want to change something, you click on it. You don't have to dive through menus to get to it, man. That's a huge, huge plus.
Yeah. And I don't know if you saw the stream, but Callum is in here. And Callum's on a new antenna. We're going to try and do, I'm going to bring the stream online. He's going to do some testing with that tomorrow. Callum, I don't know if you want to try it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and flip it around and see if you can hit the both of us with that thing. I'm actually pointed southwest, so what you're hearing is coming off the back door. So if you want to, I'm going to switch the flip here and drop the key and see if you can actually hear us. So Rick, you want to stand by for a moment, see if you can grab Callum?
Can we move up maybe 2? I think there's a net right below us. I might be killing those guys. Some of those guys are fairly strong here. Do you want to try moving up 2? Does moving up 2 look bad for you?
Nope, that'll work. Let's go QSY 187. QSY 187. Hopefully the guys on the stream got that. So here we go. K1GMM. Okay, now we're talking. Okay, stand by for a minute. I'm going to flip around and see if Callum can give us a shout. We'll just stand by here. K1GMM. Okay, I'm pointed at Europe now. So we're standing by for you, Callum, or anybody watching the stream or anybody in Europe. Come on in. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. We're live streaming to YouTube along with N8SDR, November 8 Sierra Delta Radio. M0MCX, M0MCX, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. M0MCX, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. M0MCX, Mike 0, Mike Charlie X-Ray, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Boy, I don't hear you yet, dude. I know, right, Ian? I don't hear him yet. Somebody tuning up. I want to hear how that array. I can't wait till tomorrow night. I hope we have conditions, because that is going to be cool to watch that thing.
Steve, did you flip direction?
I did. I'm actually pointed at Europe now. But there's a fairly broad lobe that's NVIS that comes off the top of this array, which is probably what you're getting. What is Ohio from here? Probably 600 miles, something like that?
Yeah, I'd say 600, somewhere between 700, I'm sure.
Yeah, the front to back doesn't get better until it starts stretching out, you know. Plus, there's a lot of interaction here. I can't even believe I can talk to you. Crazy, because I've got a 4,000-foot chunk of marble that goes NVIS right off my western doorstep. And I mean, right when I step out the door, it's straight up. So I cannot, it's, the only thing I can think of is something to do with the mountains, and it's all rock. You know, I don't know.
M0MCX, N8SDR in company with K1GMM. Copy, Cal?
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close the stream there. I hear, what time is it? Oh yeah, my wife is home. That's who I hear upstairs. We're going to go out and do some dinner. I'm starving. Just wanted to thank everyone for joining us here tonight. And thanks, Rick, for taking some time and visiting and being an active part of what's going on here. Much appreciated there, dude. And same for everybody else. But let me go ahead and get ready to close down here. I'll leave the chat window open for a little bit, probably for a couple minutes, and wrap up on that end. But Callum, cool. Thanks, Rick. Offer on the remote. Okay, we're gonna QRT here on 185. 7-3, guys. Have a great evening. K1GMM.
Thanks, Steve. Enjoyed it. Anytime the offer stands on the remote session, just hit me up, email me, let me know. Take care, my friend, and really have a great evening there. Enjoyed it as usual. K1GMM, N8SDR.
Yeah, 7-3, Rick. Thanks again, buddy. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, isn't it? All right, we're out of here. QRT, K1GMM. Okie dokie. Finoki. Excuse me. All right. Let me get these stupid things off. God, I hate headphones. All right, gang. Thanks a lot. Michael, 7-3, buddy. Good to see you in there. Ian, Anthony, Ed, 7-3. Let's see. Callum, I'm not sure. What I'll do is I will keep what I'm going to do. I don't know if you're live streaming, Callum. I'll check once I shut this down here. But I don't know how long you'll be up, Callum. So what time is it here currently? It is... These notifications are killing me. Wow, 6:45. Okay, so you are streaming. Fantastic. So let me, I'll bring the stream back online just quick if you need me to. Tonight may be a better night than tomorrow night. It may get pretty ugly tomorrow night. If we get a K index of 6, who knows what's going to happen. Band's open right now. It's not great, but at least it's open to extreme Western Europe. Coastal Western Europe. So, hey, I'll take whatever I can get. Anyway, 7-3, you guys. Thanks for watching. And thanks for participating. Much appreciated. And I wanted to say, too, I'm going to close with this. I never expected this to be popular. It was not my intention. I was just doing it for fun. And I'm still doing it for fun. But I just never expected people to really be that interested. So that being said, thank you for watching. I know a lot of folks have subscribed. Thanks for the subscriptions. I'm not doing it for subscriptions. I'm doing it for fun, and it's a lot of fun having you guys in here. So it's fulfilled the purpose, actually beyond what I thought was going to happen. It actually scared me a little bit, to be honest with you, and I'm not easily frightened. So 7-3, we'll catch you all later. I'm going to go ahead and shut down. I'll leave the stream active, and just I'll kick the HF back on, put it on a frequency, and I'll just watch the chat for a little bit. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Name is Steve over here deep in the heart of the Green Mountains, state of Vermont. I'll say 7-3. We'll catch you soon.
Bravo Yankee, stroke 9. Romeo? Okay, Whiskey Oscar again. Papa India 4 Whiskey Oscar for Netherlands 59. USLD, the operator name is Tom. Tango Oscar Mexico from Sicily. Thank you very much, Papa India 4 Whiskey Oscar 73.
Okay, Rick, I just saw that you posted something. Okay. I meant to mention this, you guys. I spent all day yesterday reconfiguring the audio. Let me stop this silly thing. I have the thing the OBS software to auto sequence through the scenes. So I have, as you know, 3 different cameras running, and I have the desktop available. So I have it to cycle with different time frames throughout all those scenes. As you noticed, probably I wasn't switching that. It just relieves a lot of the chaos that's going on. Trying to run the radio and work with the stream with multiple scenes running, too much for my brain to handle. So what I did was, let me get over on the. You don't need to be looking at me that close. What I did was, I ended up. Well, first I took the directly injected audio from the USB cable out of the 7300 and fed it to the stream. That worked good. And then I started playing with the HDSDR stuff, and I thought, well, why am I going to do that? Why don't I take the audio from the HDSDR, even though there's latency there? Whatever. The HDSDR on ESSB is terror with these guys running like 4K wide and stuff. Rick, it's just, it sounds so good, man. It's terror. So then what I decided, I was like, well, why am I using the stupid microphone in the webcam for the stream? So what I ended up doing was to smooth, because I wanted it fairly smooth and everything balanced. I have this microphone right here. This is what I was using on the HF rig tonight. Sorry about tapping it. I shouldn't do that. It runs into the preamp. This is a phantom powered microphone. So I took the feed, a line out from the EQ to the line in on the computer, and assigned that to one of the devices in the mixer. So you get the audio going into the transceiver and the audio from the same microphone. This is a really good microphone. So if you're wondering why the audio sounds different, well, yeah, that's why. Because I got to listen to Callum's stream, and I was like, dang it, I just got to get that audio directly injected into OBS. So that's what's going on with that. Anyways, I'm getting over. Catch you later. Let me get the volume back up, and I'll mute it.
When I was in Rome on several contests, I'm not sure because I don't have any other logs here. At the moment I open just with the IT9 log. Anyway, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure always to talk with you, and I hope to see you in this condition soon on the Cam Band. November 1, Japan Alpha Oscar. Ciao, grazie.
Ciao, grazie, mille grazie. Buonasera.
Buonasera, grazie. QRZ, Italy, Whiskey 0, Hotel, Bravo, Yankee, Stroke 9. Ending X-ray. Okay, Delta Limo 4 Taxi, you 5 and 9, Sierra 9 in Sicily.
Very good. Well, thank you so much. You take care now, and I'll see you later on the channel. Bye-bye now.
Okay, Colin, bye-bye. I was watching Steve's stream. I heard him here barely in Portugal, okay? So if
Okay, we're going to try and get Callum. I can hear him pretty good now, so we'll see.
You can try to read the 7 Alpha with the brother. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you very much indeed. MM5 DWW. I think that's Bob, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. That's David, maybe. Nothing in Orkney, fair enough. Anybody else, please? Hello from Mike 0, Mike Charlie X-ray listening.
Mike 0, Mike Charlie X-ray, Mike 0, Mike Charlie X-ray, Kilo 1 Golf Mike.
Well, imagine that, Steve, over.
Yeah, I just happened to look up at the chat there, Callum. Good to hear you, man. Hey, everybody, it's DX Commander. Geez, I feel like I've known you for a lifetime. I've known you for days, just a few days. I happened to look up at the chat, and Ed told me, he says, for your information, Cal is calling on 187. So I was like, oh, well, I have to go up there and at least jump in, at least say hello. Hope you had a good evening there with your XYL. I don't know. I thought that's what you were doing. So I take it you took a break and you got your antenna all sorted. Over.
Guys, 7185 NUSKD 2 DMR.
Oh, Steve. I'm really... Yeah, my friend. I think we need another hour. I'll go late tonight. But the QSB talking Steve, over.
Yeah, I think there's a net running on 185 maybe, and I think we're getting into it. Callum, can we go up to 89?
Listen, if you're around later, I'm sure you're going to pick up, mate. I'm sure you're going to pick up. Anyway, typical copy or not at all, Steve. That feels like I've known you for a lifetime. And you can listen back to the live. Anyway, I'll take cheerio and I'll catch you later. If not tonight, tomorrow night. Bye-bye. Mike 0, Mike Charlie, Brazil, South America, hello Mike 0, Mike Charlie, X-ray.
Okay, I am actually going to I'm actually going to, anybody on Callum's stream, could someone let him know could someone jump onto Callum's stream and let him know that there's a net running on 185, and East Coast is going to be a very difficult situation because they're going to blow the doors off of those guys on 185. If he could go up 2, I think he'd be okay, up to 188. 188 will give him enough headroom. So if somebody could do that for me, that'd be great, and I'll get things sorted here just to let him know. Much appreciated, you guys. All right, we'll catch y'all later. 7-3.